today.
Well, hello. Marcus Woods is here. I am standing in for Dr. Milton C. Woods on Reliable Sources today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a good topic for you, and I promise you that it's going to be engaging, and we will not be on here long. So yeah, tap in with me if you do so. That's it, right? Anyways, Terrence is over there.
Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for joining Reliable Source today. Again, we got a good topic. We're talking about faith today. And guys, just want you to let you know right quick, we had 80 subscribers right now on the church YouTube channel. So please, guys, share this. Not just share this video, but share it with everybody. Share it with YouTube. Let everybody know that we are here. We're live. And we're going to have a good day today.
We're going to have a great day today. So I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. So if you get on, share live, let everybody know that we're here on Reliable Sources. Again, I'm standing in for Dr. Milton C. Woods, and it's going to be a great topic. We're talking about faith. We're talking about faith, and you can use faith in all aspects. Of course, faith in Jesus Christ, faith in God, of course. But we're just going to talk about faith and the opposites of that, and how do we kind of come out of that and come over that. So we're going to talk about faith. We're also going to talk about doubt, unbelief, and fear. And I want to talk about how we can get past these things. But let me give you a definition. Definition of faith. This is just a regular definition. Complete trust or confidence in something or someone, often without tangible proof. That means often without something you can grab or hold or get to tangible proof. Here we go. In practice, believing in what you cannot see or fully understand, yet choosing to trust anyway. Trusting that your career will unfold. These are just examples. Trusting that your career will unfold with purpose, even when you don't see the immediate results. So that's just like a natural kind of truth, like having this faith in something or someone, even though you can't like quite see it, you cannot quite understand it or put your hands on it. So that's kind of what faith is, but it's not kind of, that's what faith is. So my question to everybody is now moving forward, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that hinder having faith in God, having faith in your career, having faith in yourself to do better. My question is, though, why is it hard for people to believe in themselves, believe in God, believe that things will get better for them and their family members? Why is that so hard for people? Like, it is questions that I ask, like, my career choice as an actor, you're gonna hear a whole lot of no's. People always say 9 times out of 10 you're gonna hear a lot of no's. I say 10 times out of 10 you're gonna hear a lot of no's. But I also say, but you make an 11th time and a 12th time and a 13th time and an umpteenth time over and over again. So you're gonna hear a lot of no's. You're gonna hear a lot of you're to this. You're not enough of this. You need to do more of this. You should do less of this. So it really takes faith to be in this career choice. Like it really does. To say that one day I'm going to be known around the world for being a great actor. So it takes faith and I have to stick it out. But my question again is to the people, and y'all jump in here as soon as you can. Why do people not have faith? Why do people that have faith for certain things and not for other things? Why do people believe things can happen for other people but not happen for themselves, or vice versa? Like why is that?
I really think it is maybe experience too many failures in life or whatever they're trying to do, and they just feel like I can't. You're like, I don't got faith in this no more, or it was not going to happen no way. So why do it? Why keep at it? Because it's like I say, it's funny because like in our lives sometimes we do give up. Yeah, we're not perfect,
right?
But we do give up. But sometimes that moment we give up, this moment we like we're right there.
Usually at that breaking point of giving up, usually right at the brink of something, breaking into something new. You know what I'm saying? I wish people would understand that and feel like and not give up as quick. So, but you're saying like maybe because of past failures,
Yeah.
people tend to be like, well, I never tend to win anything in life, and so that's why I just kind of throw my hands up and be like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, I get that. I can see how people would think that way. You know what I'm saying? I can see how people would think that way. Anybody jumping in there saying anything?
Not
okay,
yet.
cool. So cool, good. I promise y'all, we ain't gonna get hurt. So another thing with faith is, I think that people tend to fall back on it because sometimes they really, and I guess I kind of said it. Some people really do believe that it can't happen for them, right? You know what I mean? Or they think that this is as good as it's going to get, and that's cool if you're content there. That's cool if you're satisfied that that's where you want to be in life. But I'm talking to the people who are having faith that things are going to get better and they haven't gotten better yet. You're not cool with that. You're not content with that. But why do people tend to stop moving forward or take a break or stop pressing to get to what's better? Like, why do they not believe? Why do they not have any faith no more? And it's crazy because people think it's some type of superpower. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. We all have it. Even the Bible says that he's given to all men a measure of faith. So we all have faith. That's the crazy. It's just that, are you exercising your faith? Are you using your faith to push you forward? Are you really trying to, like the Bible says, and I'm quoting it, move mountains? Or are you just, this is my faith to get my bills paid is enough for me. My faith to get food on my table is enough for me. My faith to have this job that I really don't like, but it's okay. Is that enough? Is that where your faith lies, or is there more? You know what I'm saying? And there is more. I made a post yesterday. I said that there is more, but you got to realize God is enough first. You know what I'm saying? There's more for us to grab, but you got to believe. Faith is believing. It's believing and having confidence in something, even when you can't see it. The Bible even talks about that. The Bible even talks about now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So, you have to still see it and believe it, even if you can't see it and see it yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one of the things that we're talking about. We're talking about faith. We're talking about faith. Even in this crazy world, we're still talking about faith and how to grow. And why people give it up? So y'all talk back to us. Let us know. So me and Terrence don't want to talk to ourselves all day.
Rob has something. He says, we the only Bible that people read when we aren't in right standing with God. We look off to other people.
Mm-hmm. So he's saying that sometimes we need that iron sharpens iron. I'm assuming, I need because sometimes people need to see somebody else pushing and going, and it could encourage them and inspire them to push and go. Yeah. I get that, bro, Robert. That's what you're saying. I totally understand that. Because you need that sometimes. Like I'm a faith person. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it can happen. Of course you want to know, like, you got to do certain things. Because obviously the Bible says faith without works is dead. But it's making sure you're doing the work that's going towards what you're believing for. You know what I'm saying? And so it doesn't always mean that, because people like to say faith without works is dead, as if like, get a regular 9 to 5. And don't get me wrong, if you got a 9 to 5, you work your 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. Matter of fact, let that fuel and feed your real goals and dreams in life. However, what I'm saying is when they or they'll say things like that, don't get so caught up, because sometimes we get caught up on what we got to do, and sometimes stuff is just God, and you got to let God handle it. You just got to make sure that you're in the right place and you're prepared for when it comes, with whatever you're having faith in, for sure. Any more, Tio?
Let's see, we got Mary Smith said, watching with you, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate you so much.
I think another thing is too, y'all. We gotta understand, it's like we can't. Like I said, we can't lose our faith so quickly when a certain wall or something happens. Because I really believe God tests us on our faith. Whether He, of course, He wants to have to test His faith in Him, but also takes faith in our dreams and our goals. Because what if we got to do that little bit of amount just for that moment, just to feed you? Then it's okay. Now you got to work a little extra year, 3 or however long you get to that goal. You want to see how you handle your faith. Like, is it going to dwindle? If it dwindles, are you going to bring it back up? Are you going to stay there? So many factors also play a part into that as well as putting your faith. Yeah. It's
a lot of key factors, and then sometimes, like Terrence said, sometimes it give you a little crumb just to keep you coming back for more and more to go a little further. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. Well, since I have nobody saying nothing, I'm gonna throw in some of the things that kind of get in the way. Doubt gets in the way, and there's doubt, there's unbelief, and there's fear. And believe me, they're all three different things. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about these three different things that get in the way, and y'all can jump in as well and put your comments and questions in. Let me give you the definition of doubt: a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. Okay. So that's totally different from faith, where it says complete trust and confidence, or confidence in something or someone without tangible proof. Doubt comes in the way and battles our faith. And so it says, again, it says a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. So in practice, it means if it questions faith, here we go. It literally questions faith. It questions faith, but doesn't necessarily cancel it. So here we go. So you're not necessarily wrong for doubting, but you don't. It questions what you're believing in, and that stops you from having faith. So it can stop you from having faith, but doesn't necessarily cancel it. Doubt wrestles with belief, but still leaves room for growth. So you're not completely out of faith or lacking faith when you're doubting. You know, there's plenty of stories of people doubting faith in the world, and also obviously I'm going to refer to the Bible, obviously to the Bible too. You know what I mean? It was the man who brought his son to Jesus. The story about the man bringing his son to Jesus, and the disciples couldn't do nothing with him. You know what I'm saying? So he took him to Jesus and said, "Your disciples couldn't do nothing with him, and I need you." And the man, and Jesus said, "Do you believe that I can, do that?" I'm paraphrasing. "Do you believe I can heal your son and deliver your son?" And the man said, "I have faith." I'm paraphrasing, but he said, "Help thou my unbelief." Help thou. There's a little doubt that encrypted in you. You know what I'm saying? There's doubt. There's also a scripture, and one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, Mark 11:23. And again, I'm just paraphrasing it really quick. It talks about that if you can have whatsoever you say, if you don't doubt in your heart, you can't doubt. That doubt will slow the process of faith moving forward. You still can grow, but sometimes doubt slows you up, and you don't need that doubt slowing you up when you're really trusting and believing in God for some things. What else do I want to say about doubt? Yes, for example, okay, here we go. Another example. Wondering if you're good enough for a role. That's inaccurate. Wondering if you're good enough for a role, but still showing up to the audition. Right? So that's where like doubt. So knowing that I'm good enough, like you're wondering, like, man, I'm going out to this audition. Am I good enough for this role? You're questioning yourself. But the faith part is you're still going to the audition regardless. You know what I mean? Right. So it's the same thing as it's like asking for a promotion on your job. You're like, am I even worthy of this promotion? Right. Okay. But you're still filling out the information for the promotion. Right. You're still asking for the promotion. Right. Yeah. So that's how doubt can wrestle with your faith. So you got to remove that doubt away. Any questions, comments?
Well, we got one from Ashanti. He said, "What I think people lose their faith is because they lose in themselves because something didn't go or God didn't move when they wanted him to."
That's good. That's good. A lot of people do that. We're human, right? Right. We don't like to keep taking L's, so sometimes we're content in just being like not even trying because we don't want to be let down. Because we believe God before, we trust God before, and then things that happen, and just like, well, maybe God ain't supposed to, maybe God don't want me to have it, or maybe I did something wrong and God didn't give it to me. So, or you just didn't get it. You just didn't get it. And that's true. That's where people lose their faith at. But one of the things to me, like one of the definitions of faith and motivation to me is getting up saying, I'm about to have the best day of my life. I'm going to achieve all my goals. It's going to be a great day. Everything's going to be great. And the day challenges you like crazy, kicks you in the face, say, here you go, today, kick you in the face, make you lose a tooth, smack you with all kind of bills and emotional problems, family members and friends falling out, all this stuff, and you get beat up, and you go to bed that night, and you wake up the next day and say, it's still gonna be a great, amazing day. That's the definition of motivation and faith to me, is saying, getting back up, even though I took a quote unquote L, I lost today, tomorrow I'm gonna get back up with the same enthusiasm I had and still going after it. And so that's what we have to learn how to do sometimes, even with faith. Maybe you didn't get it today. Maybe you didn't get it yesterday. Maybe you haven't gotten it what you asked for in years. But the one of the main things about faith is you have to keep believing. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep saying it is going to happen for me one day. I don't care how old or young you are or what you lost or gained. It is going to happen to you one day. So you have to fight that. You have to take those L's because sometimes God don't give us what we want sometimes too because we're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Or he could have something totally better for us. That's why we have to keep the faith and follow him and keep the faith and keep pushing and persevering. Any other questions? Comments?
Comments not right now.
Okay. Cool. We move.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing that kind of that interferes with your faith is unbelief. Mm-hmm. Unbelief. I'm going to give you the definition of that. Now, this is totally different from doubt. Unbelief, a deliberate rejection or refusal to believe. In other words, you're absolutely saying, I don't believe it. Mm-hmm. I refuse to believe it. It'll never happen. It can't never happen. Nobody won't ever show up for me. It won't happen. That's what it is. So that's totally different from doubt. Doubt kind of makes you shaky. Unbelief says, no, I don't believe. Right. You totally reject it. Here we go. In practice, unlike doubt, unbelief is a hardened stance, a decision not to accept something as true. So it's really hard for me. It's easy for me to help somebody believe in something or believe in God or believe in themselves even when they have a little bit of belief in them. Even though they may have some doubts, I can still work with that. A person who chooses not to believe it, it's harder for me to work with them because they don't even see, they don't agree, they don't like it, they disagree, whatever it is, they just don't feel like it's happening for them or to them, or it can't be real, or even in the sense of believing in God, they don't believe, they just can't do it. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not reachable, right, but it's harder. It's a harder task to break through to those people. So that's how unbelief can get in the way. When you have when you have an unbelief, it's one thing to have doubt. It's one thing to be like, I don't know. And it's another thing to be like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Those are two different things. So that's what unbelief can be. We got any questions in there?
No, nothing. No, keep
moving on. We're talking about the last thing that gets in the way. Well, one of the last out of these three things that gets in the way of faith, which I think a lot of people deal with, is fear. Fear. Here we go. Definition. A distressing emotion aroused by perceived danger, threat, or uncertainty. Check this out. A distressing emotion. Fear is an emotion. Understand that? It's an emotion. It's just like being mad or in love and all these things. It's an emotion. But it's a distressing emotion aroused by perceived danger, what you may think is dangerous, what looks dangerous to you. Might not even be that bad, but you perceive it as danger and a threat or uncertainty. That is what fear is. That's the total opposite of unbelief and doubt and faith, obviously. Okay, in practice, fear often partners with doubt or unbelief, right, holding you back from action. Fear says, don't even walk out in the door. Don't even try it. You know, like they always say, you'll never make 100% of the shots you don't take. Right. Yeah, you never miss the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't take that shot, you'll never know if you can make it or not. And the problem is with people believing in God, one, they're afraid. You know, they're fearful, like they think God is this judge with this hammer and is sitting at the stance and saying guilty all the time. And there is a wrath of God where he's like that. But God is love and God is peace and God is joy. God is everything that we need. And you don't have to, in a sense, like be fearful of him. You don't have to be afraid of God. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you should be more fearful if you don't let God into your life, right, because of the consequences that could possibly happen to you. But that will happen to you if you don't choose it. So that's that. But then on the natural side of things, afraid to go after your dreams and goals because what? We can make a laundry list of excuses. Right. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm black. I'm white. I'm Hispanic. I'm Asian. I'm big. I'm small. I'm fat. I'm skinny. I'm muscular. I'm not. You can go. I'm not. People don't find me attractive. Some people say I'm too attractive. Like it could be a laundry list of things, of fearful things that you won't go out and take that step. But you have to look that fear in the eye and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to. How do you know? We're talking about shots, shooting basketball. How do I know how far I can shoot the ball from if I never shoot? How do I know my form is off if I never shoot and see my form, never take the actual shot? And so it's like, if you don't ever step out there, you'll never know. Well, what if I get out there and I make a mistake? I'm fearful of making a mistake. Well, guess what? if you never make the mistake, you won't even know it's a mistake.
Right.
So you have to get out there so now you know how to correct it and move past it and go to the next thing. You know what I mean? And then there are some people who are afraid and fearful of success.
Right.
They're afraid that they can't be successful. Or if they get successful, they're gonna blow it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So there's a fear of success. And even to that, so sometimes in that we'll self-sabotage and make ourselves unsuccessful in a successful situation because we feel like we're supposed to fail or lose or not be successful.
Right.
It's crazy. Questions, comments?
No questions, no comments.
Okay, cool. So that's that. So I'm gonna read this. Here we go. Example: feeling paralyzed before a performance, afraid you'll fail or be judged. I just gave that perfect example. So I can only talk from where I am, like as an actor, being afraid to go to the audition because I don't want to mess up or I don't want to be judged. And fear paralyzes you. It literally stops you from moving forward. And that's the total, that's the total opposite of faith. Faith makes you move. Fear makes you sit still. Fear makes you go run backwards instead of go forward. Fear makes you cower away. And faith makes you show up and push forward. Quick summary of all this. Literally, this is what my notes say. Faith moves you forward. If you want to go forward in life, you want to do greater things, you want to be better, then you gotta have faith. Obviously, as a Christian and being saved, I want to tell you, have faith in God first. And God will teach you how to have faith in you, pushing forward in the career and the dream and the life that you want. So you gotta have faith. It moves you forward. Doubt, questions, but can coexist with faith. But in this coexisting, it's still wrestling with your faith. And it's making you not sure and kind of slowing up progress and you moving forward. Number 3, unbelief. Unbelief halts progress by rejecting believing it in the first place. By rejecting belief entirely. So you don't even believe it at all. So that hinders progress because you don't even believe. I got to deal with why you don't believe. And fear, it clouds your vision and often stops action. It gets you all in your head and you can't see clearly. Your vision is clear, not clear up here, and then it often stops people from moving forward. So that's something that I want to talk about as far as faith. Real quick, this scripture says in Matthew 9:27, it says, and when Jesus departed thence, 2 blind men followed him crying and saying, thou son of David, have mercy on us. Verse 28, and when he was coming to the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus saith unto them, believe ye that I am able to do this? You have faith that I am able to do this? He says, they said unto him, yea, Lord. This is the verse that I want to get to, 29. Then touched he their eyes, saying, according to your faith be it unto you. You'll get what's according to your faith. You'll achieve however you believe. According to your faith, it can be done unto you. So you have to get your faith lined up. You have to exercise your faith. You have to try. You have to push. You have to go forward. You have to really, really see where you're at with your faith and then exercise it and push it and stretch it and start believing in God. And then ultimately God will show you how to believe in the gifts that he gave you so you can also get heaven, but also enjoy a little heaven on earth while you're down. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
We got one from Cousin Keisha. She says the Bible calls it an evil heart of unbelief.
An evil heart of unbelief. If you ain't believing in God, your heart is evil.
Yep.
Not me. The Bible said, not me. That's so true, cousin. That's a good one. That's a really, really, really good one. Any other T-Dog?
No, none right now.
Okay. So I hope y'all understand that with faith, you can get a lot of things done. But also in the Bible, talk about without faith, it's impossible to please God. So you need faith even to please God, to have trust in God. You have to need faith to believe that God sent his only begotten son down to the earth. He walked this earth for 33, some say 32 years, and that he died on the cross for you and I and then rose again on the 3rd day. So you have to have faith. That's why it's impossible to please God without faith, just on that alone. And then for you to really believe God for something and to believe in yourself and your careers and maybe you want to get married or you want to just a better life for you and your family, whatever. It takes faith. Don't let doubt stop you. You're okay. If doubt shows up, that's okay. But you just move it out the way. If unbelief shows up, move it out the way. And if fear shows up, you attack it head on and move it out the way as well. So you can continue to move forward and see what God has for you and see what kind of life you really can achieve. That's all I have for today.
I'm gonna ask a question, but Coach just got one more thing over here. She said, peace, joy, gratefulness, blessing will come with faith.
Yes, this is true. That's so good. All that come in with faith. Faith is just, it's a broad statement, but it's a loaded statement. It's a loaded, broad word, but a loaded word. So much comes in with faith. Just take that leap of faith. Take that step of faith and see where it leads you. That's really good, cuz. Would you have to do?
So, okay, we talking about faith, but faith is good. Now, here's my question. Can you put their faith in the wrong person?
Absolutely. You can absolutely put your faith in the wrong person. You can put your faith in the wrong situation. You can put your faith in the wrong things. You have to be careful where you lay your faith, because that could be where you're losing it at. That's could be where because you keep believing in somebody who is not in a place. Let's just say you're believing in a friend to really come through for you, but they keep showing you that they're not going to come through for you. So now maybe you can't have that faith and belief that they're going to come through for you no more. You got to take that and put it where it matters and in yourself and what you're trying to do, because you're going to keep getting hurt because this person is not ready to be where you're at that place in their life. So you have to be okay with saying, I put too much faith in you. Let me move this over here, put it in God and put it in other things so I can get things done. It's a good question too. Really good question. Any more?
But that's it.
Well, I ain't gonna be on here before y'all know. I'm getting out y'all way. I hope y'all enjoy Reliable Sources for today. Bishop Woods will be back on next week on Reliable Sources. So he'll be here. I hope you all enjoyed this topic. I hope when you go watch the replay, you really get engaged.
Please shout out to everybody. And don't forget about Bible class Wednesday. Also, don't forget about prayer on 7:30. And see y'all Sunday.
Yes, see y'all Sunday. All right.
All right, we love
y'all.
y'all.